Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. Hello and welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours. I'm your host, Trey. Today on the pod, I have an awesome guest. You get not one, but two stories from today's guests. Today's guest is an incredible singer-songwriter, just one of the most incredible voices I've ever listened to. He was on a recent season of The Voice, and he was on Team John, which is cool because that's my favorite coach, is John Legend. Please welcome to the pod, Zach Day.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I don't have like a good mic.
No, please. I don't give a shit, man. Thanks for doing this.
Somewhere, but I'm in Toronto, Canada right now.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like in the studio recording. Like I'm working on some music, so I'm gonna be up here for like a month or something.
Hell yeah, that's awesome, man.
yeah, it's good. But
is that specifically why you're there? Is to work on an album?
Yeah, my manager is here, and he linked me up with this guy named Alex that's producing stuff for me, and so I've just been like staying here, and then on the weekends I'm getting a hotel and just like enjoying my time a little bit.
Yeah,
and not working so much, but during the week I'm gonna be like in this building, but it's nice. I mean, we got like all it's cool.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Even just the idea of like being able to be in a space and your sole purpose for being in that space is to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's great, and I'm lucky because they're just like their goal right now is just to like do what we got to do to get me like.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
So I love it.
It's been good. Yeah. I mean, I'm still working because I work 2 remote jobs. So I bring my computers with me.
That's great.
And when he's like over here, like doing his thing, if I'm not writing or something, I'm sitting over there just like
100%.
Locked in.
I love that. And I think like, so I'm the same way. Like I play music in a band and we all have day jobs, and it's like being able to like know we have a job and know we can work remote and know we can like fucking support ourselves, like allows us to be so much more creative, because when we have the time to like dedicate to that creative aspect, we're not stressed out about if we can pay rent next month. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh 100%. Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
And I'm so lucky that I work remote because like you said, I can still pay my bills, but I can be here for like a month. And
no, seriously. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
I love that. How long have you been in Toronto now?
I've been back and forth a lot.
Okay. Where are you based at in the States?
Nashville.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I grew up in Kentucky, but moved to Nashville like right at the top of the pandemic, like not knowing that it was about to shut down. And yeah, so it was it's been a trip. So I've been there like right about 2 years at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, and but this time I've just been up here for a week.
Nice.
I got here on Monday, so yeah, tomorrow will be my last day in the studio. I go to the hotel, I'm gonna like eat, sleep, relax a little bit, and then back here again on Monday, I guess.
Cool.
So yeah, like the goal is like we're writing like we're trying to get like 20 songs, and then like
it's amazing,
sit down with my manager and we're gonna like look through the best, like all of them, and try to pick the best, and then hopefully we can start pitching to some labels, and then if I'm lucky I can get me a deal, and then I don't have to do my
hell yeah
job.
Hell yeah.
I can get like an advance and get paid to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. I love that. Let's go.
Right.
Whatever you end up creating with this producer in Toronto, like you have at least one person in LA who's excited to hear it.
Thank you. I hope it goes well. It's been cool, but we've been working a lot. Like I think my manager found me on TikTok around like December. And so just the past couple months we've been just working. He had never heard me sing live before, so he booked me a showcase in LA, and I played at the Hotel Cafe, and he
love that venue. Yeah.
And that was the first time it ever heard me sing live. And then after that, it was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. And I was like,
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
and my
so
story,
exciting.
I have like 2 stories.
Okay.
We'll see which one. I don't know. Like, cause they're not like that long, but like one of them is more like exciting, and the other one's kind of like scary and like dramatic and weird.
Okay.
And upsetting.
You said they're both fairly short?
Yeah, so I don't know which
one. You want to do both?
Well, yeah, sure. I can do both.
I would say let's start with the spooky, scary one, and
Yeah.
then we can end on the exciting one.
Okay,
I
cool.
love that. I mean, at that point, that was the perfect segue. So take it away. I'm all ears.
Oh, okay,
Thank you
sweet.
for
So,
doing
oh
this. I'm
yeah,
excited to chat with you.
you're welcome. Well, okay, the spooky, scary one. So here's my story. Everybody ready?
I
Okay,
love
so
it.
once upon a time, a young teenage Zach was in college in
Okay.
Kentucky. And I had just like moved to this new town in Kentucky, and it was like a city because I'm from a farm, you know.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like, and it's not even a city, but to me it was
Yeah.
because there was like traffic lights.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is big time. So
I
like,
love
had
that
this fear.
so much.
And being like a little bit naive, I didn't know that the place that me and my friend had decided to move was kind of the wrong side of the tracks.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
We're like,
Yep.
oh, it's cheap, it works.
Yeah.
But it was kind of more dangerous for sure.
How old are you at this point?
Oh, I was like 19.
Okay,
maybe
okay,
18,
cool.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just
did
like,
this I did a similar thing. So I grew up in a small town in Texas, so like I totally get what you're saying.
yeah.
And then I moved to Los Angeles when I was 17 years old, and it was like I
Whoa.
moved into an apartment sight unseen. Me and my buddy
Oh,
from high school found an apartment that we thought our parents could help us afford, and we
wow.
signed a lease and we came. It was wild. So I
And you've been there
definitely
ever
understand.
since.
Yeah, I've been in LA. I've been in Orange County, which is like an hour south of LA,
Yeah.
like near Disneyland. But yeah, I've just kind of bounced around for the last many years.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. So it was just like, kind of just moving away from home for the first time kind of
Hmm.
vibes. And yeah, it was kind of just a sketchy part of town, but we didn't really know. But it was fine, I was chilling and I didn't really care. I was just like, hey, the rent's cheap, it's all good.
Yep, I love it.
So we
And I'm sure you were excited to be on your own for the first time too.
yeah, I was
100%.
excited. I was living with like my best friend who I'm still like best friends with. But we were
I
just
love
like,
that.
enjoying our time. And then like I just started noticing like weird things about this part of town.
Oh no.
Like I would tell people would be like, oh yeah, what street do you live on or whatever, and I would tell them, I'd be like, ooh, and I'm like, what? Like, what's that mean? I don't. That just kind of give me like some looks or be like, oh wow, okay, sorry about that,
Wow, good
stuff
for
like
you.
that. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so that started making me feel a little bit weird. And then I remember, I like to run a lot, so I was like
Mhm.
telling my friends like, I'm gonna go for like a run, and he was like, okay, didn't say anything about it. And I'm like going for a run. I just start noticing like weird stuff. First of all, there's like this dog that's chasing me the whole
Oh
time.
god.
Just some like random little dog. And I was like, go away. Like, and I'm like trying to just like enjoy it. Then I'm like noticing like a couple like screaming at each other over here.
Oh
And I'm like,
jeez.
where am I right now? And then like someone I think asked me for money at one point, and I was like, I'm just like trying to, I got my headphones in, I don't know what's going on. And then a
You're
cop
running with headphones in. I love it.
And then I have like a cop pulling up behind me and follows me for like 3 blocks, just kind of like,
Oh my
and I'm like, I'm just exercising,
Yeah.
like, calm down. So it was like weird. That was definitely one thing. And then another part was like, there was like this place that was like right across the street from us that was like weird, and it had like bars on the windows, and there
Okay.
but on the weekends it was always packed with cars and people in and out and stuff. And we were like, what is this place? And there was like a sign that says like no trespassing, and there's like another sign that says like 25 and up or something like that. And we were like,
Okay.
what could this be? And so we start asking our neighbors and stuff, and this one of our neighbors was like, oh yeah, it's a club. And we were like, what? Because it just looks like a weird abandoned building. And apparently it's a club. And I'm like, 25 and up club with bars on the windows. What kind of club is this? Is what I want to know. Like, and we couldn't even go in it. And here we
Yeah.
are, like, getting ready to be 21. We're thinking we're able to go out. We couldn't go in there.
Yeah.
This was 25. And then my neighbor was like, I mean, I'm sure I could get you guys in. Then we're like, oh, I don't know if we want to. But there could be some freaky shit going on in there. Like, we don't know. But that was, so yeah, just things like that was going
For
on.
sure.
So
For sure.
one day I remember I was in the car. I pulled out. I was going to go down the road to get us some like ice cream or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I picked it up. I was just running some errands, and then it was dark out though. It was probably like 8 or 9 p.m.
Okay.
And I'm coming back, and I'm driving and I'm almost home, and I'm on that road, and it's dark, and I've got my headlights on, but all of a sudden I'm like kind of going, and then I see someone standing in the middle of the road.
Oh my God.
Like, and I was like, I just kind of screamed and slammed my brakes on, because I had to come to a stop. If I didn't, I literally would have.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And so I come to a complete stop. And before I can, and this is going to make me sound really stupid, which is why I didn't want to tell this in a way, because I was like, I'm going to sound dumb.
This is a safe space.
I was just scared. Okay. Like I come to a stop, and all of a sudden this dude comes around, and before I could think, he's inside of my car.
Oh my God.
Okay. I promise did not offer him a ride. I didn't do anything. But he's standing in the middle of the road, and I have to stop, and then he gets in my car. So my doors were unlocked, and he just decides that he's gonna crawl in. So I'm like sitting there. There's this guy beside me now, and he's like, "Okay, here's what I need you to do." I'm like, no.
No!"
And he's like, "I'm gonna need you to do this. I'm gonna need you to let me use your phone." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Where am I going?" He's like, "Just take off driving." So I'm just driving kind of aimlessly with this dude in my car, and I'm really scared. Like,
yeah, of course you are. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I was like, I guess this is it. I guess this is how it ends for good old Zach.
Oh no.
And I had my wallet like sitting in like nearby, and my phone and stuff. So I was like, and I had an eye on it, because I was like, dang, he could just kind of take it if he wanted to. I don't know. But he's like, "I'm gonna need to use your phone." So I'm like, okay. And I have my phone, I'm driving, and I'm like, what's the phone number? Because I don't want to give him my phone, because again, if he takes it, I don't have a way to call like 911. Got my personal information on there. But I think I dialed it for him and put it on speakerphone.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think he ended up taking my phone from me somehow. But I remember him talking, and he was telling his friends like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have him take me down here, and then I'm gonna have him do." And I'm just thinking, okay, I'm about to get jumped, and my car is about to get stolen. Like, this guy's gonna take me somewhere, and then there's gonna be all these people, and they're gonna come beat me up or like hurt me, and then like take my car. And then I was thinking, wow, yeah, I'm definitely not in a good part of town. At that point, that's when I was like, oh no.
After everything, that's when it clicked.
Yeah, after all of that. And so he hangs up the phone, and I'm like, "You got to tell me where to go." And he's like, this is kind of weird. He was like, "Do you have any drugs?" And I was like, I don't have any drugs. I've got ice cream. So you might think, and I like had long hair and a beard. I was like, I kind of look like a stoner, but I'm just like,
so he wasn't like, it wasn't like a very off guess for him to ask.
Yeah. I was like, at least he was asking, he didn't assume. He's like, no judgment.
I also love the idea where he's like, "Do you have any drugs?" And you're like, "I have ice cream."
I was like, ice cream can be considered a drug. I'm addicted.
It's true. Sugar is very destructive to the brain. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, no. And then I pull up to a stop sign, and he looks over. I'm sitting at this stop sign. He looks over, and I have like this little jar that I would keep in my car with like a bunch of change in it. I don't know how much was in it, but I would say maybe $20. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I would use it at like parking meters, or
for sure,
like whatever. He just took the whole jar in his hand, was like,
of course,
"I need this money more than you do." And then he just jumped out and took off running. And so in my mind, I'm like, I spun out at that point. I was like,
for sure.
I just like took off back toward home. And he just so basically this dude just got in my car, called his friends and told them I was dropping him off somewhere, and then took my money and ran out of my car. So that moral of the story is like, lock your doors. Don't let anyone get in your car, because I could have gotten hurt really bad.
Yeah, that could have had a much worse ending. For sure. Yeah.
But now I'm just like so paranoid when I'm in the car.
Oh my god.
Like the other day I was like going to pick up my friends. It was like 5 a.m, and I was like, it was really early and we were gonna go on I had to go play a show or something. So I was driving like 2 or 3 hours, and I was just driving to go pick up my friend, and I was at a stoplight. There's nobody there. I have my headphones in again, just like listening to music. And I look over and there's some guy like standing at the window,
Oh
and I
my
scream.
God.
I'm like, "Ah!" And I'm like, go away, go. Like, and I actually scared him with my reaction. I think he was just chilling, but I was
My
just like,
God.
go away. And then he was like, what? And I was like, ah. And I ended up running the red light because I was so scared that he was going to try to get in my car. So I have like some
my
sort of
God.
like post-traumatic thing going on from
Yeah,
that
now,
experience.
like, understandably, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
Good
scary kind of
God.
dramatic
Oh my
story.
God, that's so insane.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
always think about like how would I react if something like that happened, and like I'm probably exactly with you. I'd be like, I don't have drugs, I have ice cream. Tell me where to go. Like,
people are the reason it makes me look stupid is because people are like, how did you let this dude get in your car? And I'm
no,
thinking,
I
I don't
disagree with
know.
people. I think you
Okay.
don't look stupid in this story.
Okay.
At
Good.
least, and now I know. Hey, remind myself to lock my fucking doors when I'm driving.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know
no, I
about
think
that
that's a
happening to
great lesson.
yeah, I don't know about that happening to anybody else. Like every time I tell it, people are like, "What the heck?" Like,
Yeah,
sometimes you'll have people come up and like ask for money or whatever. Totally
totally.
fine.
Yeah.
But like, I have never heard of it. Someone just getting in the car
Oh
and being
my
like, "Take me here."
God.
But he
I
wasn't like violent or anything,
yeah,
except for the fact
that's
that he took my
yeah,
money. But he could have been, and I was scared that he was
yeah,
going to be.
yeah,
And then when I didn't have any drugs, I was scared too because I
yeah.
was like, that might not be. Maybe that's what he wants.
They'd
I
be like,
don't
but look, man, I
know.
am giving you a ride. I'm giving you a
I was
ride
like,
right
I'll
now.
take you wherever you want to go. We can go 20 minutes. I don't care. Let's go.
I love that. It's like a reverse Uber. You can take my change with you when you leave.
Right. I'll pay you to drive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just don't murder me, please.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
So
absolutely
anyway,
wild.
we moved.
I
We
love.
moved from that place.
I love it. Oh man,
Yeah.
that's wild. Do you
Yeah.
remember how long you lived in that place?
Oh, for a good while.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
it was fine, but we didn't last there because I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just wasn't the best part of town. I ended up moving in with somebody else, and everything was good, but
I love it.
um, it was too expensive to live somewhere where stuff like that was happening. But I
For
still never
sure.
figured out what was going on in that club either.
Oh
Like, I
man.
want to know so bad. I was like, is it like
Yeah.
swingers or something? Is it some sort of like, like dirty, like sexy club, or is it just like, I don't know. I was so curious, and I was
The
like, I want to
25 and
go.
up is odd.
That's the weird part. But you know what? I think honestly, like I've thought of every possible scenario, and me and my friend decided that maybe they just don't want a bunch of young college kids in there because it's like a college town. So maybe
Okay.
they just want, maybe they just want to
Okay,
hang
that
out with
makes sense.
people their own age, and it's like a privately
Yeah.
owned place, maybe. So maybe they just want it to be
That
like,
actually makes a lot of sense to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
But I just had to
Yeah.
think that through because I was like, why? They probably just don't want a bunch of random 21-year-olds coming in there and getting drunk and like trashing the
100%.
place or something. You
Oh
know
my
what I mean?
gosh. Yeah, how
Maybe that.
wild. That's so funny.
Yeah.
How often do you like get back, or I mean, I guess you just moved to Nashville, so you lived in Kentucky pretty recently, but since you've
Yeah.
moved to Nashville, do you like go back to visit a lot, or what's that been like?
Well, I mean, like
Obviously, COVID has changed everything in terms of travel lately, so.
yes, yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, yeah. Just to come here to Canada like this past week, it was a lot because you have to get a COVID test 72
Mhm.
hours. There's like a 72-hour window, and
Mhm.
in my mind, I was like, that's like 3 days, and also it's like, oh, anyway, I ended up taking the test like 2 hours too early, but before that 72-hour period. So I took it like within like 74 hours, I guess. And so I got to the airport and like, oh no, it has to be 72 hours before your flight leaves or something like that. And I was just like,
Oh my
so
gosh.
they didn't let me on my flight. So I was supposed to get here on like Friday,
No.
but I ended up having to take another COVID test and wait to get my results. And they had to rebook me. So that's why I didn't get here till Monday. It was just a big
Oh my gosh.
ordeal. But
What a
yeah, no, I get to
headache.
go, I go to Kentucky every now and then. It's not that far from Nashville. It's like where I went to school, like college and stuff is like 3 hours of a drive or something like that. So
Mhm.
not too bad, but I just don't really I don't need to go back up to like my
Yeah.
college town very much
For sure,
anymore.
for sure, for
But
sure.
like I'll go visit my family every now and then. But yeah, I mean, I don't get to that often because I
Mhm.
work so much, and then on the
Yeah.
weekends most of the time I'm
Yeah.
singing or like
Yeah, I get it. I
whatever.
get it for sure.
Yeah,
That's
so
so funny.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I love Kentucky though. I have a really soft spot for it.
Totally.
Like growing up on like a farm. I mean, you said you grew up in like Texas,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
like it's probably just like flat there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. But, like,
literally, yeah.
yeah, I've been to Texas a few times, but like we're in Kentucky, it's just like hills and
Mhm.
really green and lots of trees. It's so beautiful. Have you
That's
ever
cool.
been?
I have not. I've driven through parts of it, but I've never like actually spent any time there.
Yeah, it's if you like hiking, camping,
Mhm.
stuff like that, it's like really known for that stuff. Rock climbing, like it's
That's cool.
gorgeous.
That's
So
really, really cool.
if I ever retire, I might end up having a little place somewhere and like a little farm in Kentucky.
I
But
love that. I love that so much. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's the goal.
Do you want to tell your exciting story?
Oh yeah, well, just to lighten things up,
Yeah.
I was telling you earlier about how like my manager found me on TikTok and then he
Yeah,
booked
yeah,
me
yeah.
a showcase in LA, and I go to LA and I play. Wait, let me try to think about the order of events here. He found me on TikTok. I'm thinking it was like November.
Okay.
Maybe it was like November something, 15th
Okay.
or something.
Got it. Okay, cool. Cool.
And it
cool.
was like it was just on the second stage, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and it was just like me for like 30 minutes, me and my
Yep.
guitar. It was really fun.
I love that. The
Um,
Hotel Cafe is like my band's like home base. That's like our
oh
it's like
really?
our favorite venue to play. And the
Oh my
second stage
gosh.
is like where we've like made a home. So like super
Oh, we're gonna
super
have to
familiar.
like get together because I'm out there
Nice.
often. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
um, but the cool thing about it was like I played the showcase and there was like this woman there that he introduced me to, and she was like so nice and really complimentary. And she said that she loved my original songs and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
And then like, not too long after that, I get to she's like she invites us over to her house. And my manager's like, yeah, you want to go hang out with her. So I'm like, okay. So I go hang with her and
She's not gonna jump in your car. This is an
right.
invite. Yeah, you can
Right, like-
choose. Yeah.
She's not gonna take the loose change in my car. Um she don't need that.
Yeah.
But we go and I am just like, she's so nice and welcoming, and she's got a beautiful home, the
Mhm.
recording studio, and I
That's
was like,
cool.
oh my gosh, like, and I go to the bathroom in there, and I'm like just using the bathroom, and I'm looking around, and I see pictures on the wall of
no.
this lady, and I'm like, hold on, that looks like Carole King all over in all these pictures. And I was like, why does this lady have a shrine to Carole King in her bathroom? And like, but then I start like
no.
noticing other pictures in the house, and Carole King is in all these pictures. So I ask, I'm like, is that Carole King? She's like, yeah, it's my mom. So basically, I was hanging out with Carole King's daughter, who also happens to be her manager. And anyway, so and then Carole King goes on to repost my cover of her song on Instagram, and now she's like following me on Instagram.
That is
I'm just like in good with
Wow.
Carole, who just so happens to be like one of my like heroes, like musical
Yeah.
heroes. So that's a cool
that.
story. I could have
I
stretched that one out a little
no,
bit.
I love that. I love that. That's like the perfect like button.
Yeah,
Man, that's
yeah,
so
it's
cool.
Luckily, I didn't get hurt in the car thing, so that
Yeah.
I could go and like hang out with like.
Although I'm gonna be honest, if you were driving in like a sketchy part of town in near your college town in Kentucky, and it was at nighttime, and then you had to slam on your brakes because Carole King was standing in the road, that's a great story too.
That's
Yeah,
a cooler story.
You're
for
like,
sure.
get in, Carol.
Come on, girl, let's go. Yeah, but yeah, that's it, dude. I've got tons of crazy stories like that.
I'm
just, like,
sure.
Random.
I'm
stuff.
sure,
So,
especially in LA. I feel like LA, like, you could just have a very innocuous plan, and then the most random things can just happen.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I feel like because LA is so big, and a lot of it is truly disgusting, that you kind of forget that so many people that you look up to live here, like right around the corner.
everybody.
And then you'll just see them at the gas station sometimes, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, oh yeah, I'm in LA. What a weird town.
I've been thinking about maybe moving there
Mhm.
eventually. And I just moved into a new place, and it's just gonna be like a month to month thing. So basically, if I want to move to LA, I'm not like tied to a lease or anything like that.
And your manager is based in LA out here?
He is based in Toronto, but he works really closely with all those folks in
Mhm.
LA. And so he's back and forth all the time, like it's nothing to
For
him.
sure, yeah, for sure.
I just want to be wherever it's going to be more convenient for me. Because
Totally.
if I do end up signing or something, then maybe I need to be in LA. But I'm also like, Nashville's cool. It's growing on me finally. It took some time because like I
Yeah, I
moved
bet.
there during the pandemic and
Yeah.
it was rough. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's starting to grow on me. So we'll see. I'm just kind of taking it day by day, kind
I
of trying to
love
see
that.
what's going on with all this music stuff, and then
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as like flexible and open-minded as I can, even though
I love that.
I'm getting older. I'm like craving kind of like stability and a little
Yeah,
bit
I
of
get
like
it.
consistency because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting older, so I'm just like, dang,
Mhm.
I'm not like a spring chicken anymore. I can't just be like go go go. Like I'm just like I'm tired. So,
I
but
get it. I get it.
I refuse to like just chill though. You know what I mean? Like I have to just
Yeah, you can't.
go.
Yeah, even if you wanted to, I don't think you'd be able to.
No, and like when I
Yeah.
make my TikToks, like I'll go like a week without even checking the app. Then I go back and I'm like, oh, I went viral for that one. Oh, cool. And I need to be on there more, but it just drains me to be on social media.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's like
yeah.
you have to, especially with music. And that's how my manager found me.
Yeah.
It's like all this stuff just from social media. So
It's crazy.
it's
I
up
think
to
like
them.
that's like a good point though, is kind of talking about being open and flexible as to like where you want to sort of like base yourself.
Hmm.
You kind of also have the luxury now to take your time deciding something like that, because being in not LA or not New York. I mean, Nashville is obviously like a huge music town, but like not being in one of like the big places isn't necessarily a detriment anymore, like it was 5 years ago or even three
Yeah,
years ago. You know what I mean?
right.
And like I think TikTok has like so much to do with that. Like people are getting discovered everywhere.
I know. Like
It's
that
so
girl,
wild.
please don't text me when you're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Stacy, like she's doing so much now, but and I think I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Like you said, some of it might
Mm-hmm.
be like, but like she put that song on TikTok, she had all these people were I
Yeah.
mean, she blew up because of that. And now
No,
that
seriously.
song has like millions of plays on Spotify,
Yep.
that song. And she featured some guy on it that
Yep.
made a TikTok to it. So I was like, oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It's like, it could have been me. That could have been me. But I don't know.
I love it. Yeah, it's just so wild.
And I've met some of my closest friends I've met on social media, like on TikTok
That's
in
cool.
Nashville. They message me like, "Oh, I'm in Nashville," and now they're like, they will sing. Like I've had some friends that I met on TikTok that sing backup for me now, like on my
That's
shows,
awesome.
and
That's
like or we just
awesome.
like collaborate and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And like the guy that I'm kind of seeing right now, we met on Instagram years ago, and it's just like crazy how these people that are in my life I've met through like social media.
I
I
love
got
that.
to live in an apartment in Nashville for free for a full year because of my Instagram. And like
That's
it's just crazy stuff like
that's
that.
insane.
That's another crazy story. Yeah, I'll get into that some other time.
I
But
love. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to do another one of these. Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure,
that's
dude.
wild, man. That's so wild. I mean, but that's all like exciting, and I think like being able to use something that like at the end of the day, TikTok is meaningless. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
social
Like it
media
could be
in general is
gone
absolutely
tomorrow.
meaningless.
Right.
But to be able to kind of take that and use it to your advantage as an artist, and to be able to find and like build a community of like-minded artists, is like, that is invaluable. And like you said, like some of these relationships that you've been able to cultivate because of this meaningless app
Mm-hmm.
will last the rest of your life. And like
Yep.
when you're doing your stadium tour and they're opening for you, or they're part of your
Yeah.
band, or vice
Right.
versa, or you're gonna fill in and do some vocals for them on their next out, like it's
Exactly.
all of those opportunities come because of a offhanded moment where they popped up on your For You page. It's so crazy,
For
man.
sure. It is really wild to think about. And yeah, but like you said, you just have to be
Yeah,
open to this stuff. And like, I checked my messages and so
I
and that's how
love it. I
I mean
love
that's
it.
how I saw you message me on TikTok.
Absolutely,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like just things like that. And I try to just take,
I love that as just a philosophy.
yeah, yeah.
I check my messages.
Check your
Yeah, I
messages.
check
Yeah,
my
you know,
messages. I bust my ass, I work hard, and I check my messages. I
yeah.
love that so much.
Oh, I love it too. Trademark that, but
Yeah,
tag
I'll
me.
put it on a t-shirt and then I'll
Yeah,
just put your name under it. Yeah.
yeah, that's good. run me my royalty check.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I pay on my t-shirts. I pay a little better than Spotify, so
Okay, good.
I'll give you 0.003 of a penny.
Okay,
so you're good.
Right. I mean, I just had to take down like all my stuff on Spotify because like with this new, I'm like rebranding right now. So anything I had up is like gone, and people are like, "Where's your stuff?" It's been really crazy to be like kind of everyone's looking at my social media right now, and I'm like, I'm working. It's gonna be great. Just give me some time. It'll be worth it though.
Absolutely. Sure. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she like just booked her first like proper Broadway job, and she was like about to start rehearsals, and I remember we were kind of just like texting back and forth, and I was like, hey, like, remember this moment, like this is the moment before, and you will never have this again. So like I'll say the same thing to you, like, remember this moment, because it's the moment before, and like whatever happens, but this is the moment before. So like really, really like take a breath and be aware of that, because it's so exciting and it's so cool. And like I mean, like I said, like I don't want to just keep like buttering your bread, but like you are literally such a talent. Like your voice is like a true gift, and like it's whatever you end up putting out, I think it's gonna blow up. So
oh, thank you. I hope so. I'm just like, I'm really looking forward to this weekend so that I can just kind of like relax a little bit, because I've been really tired. But I'm just, I'm really working so hard, and like, I really want whatever the thing is that comes out. I really, really want it to be so special, and so I'm refusing to settle. I'm taking my time.
I love it.
I'm working
absolutely.
With the best of the best. I'm like outsourcing my friends and like people that I know are good.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
And I'm like, listen, let's do this, because sometimes it takes a village to produce something that's really, really special.
Yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely.
I'm not ashamed to be like, hey,
I love it.
Come help me out.
Yeah, no, see, absolutely. I love that, man. That's so exciting and so cool. Anywhere in particular you would prefer that I point people towards to find you or to check out anything you have up right now?
Just Instagram and TikTok, which are both Zach. Well, Instagram's Zach, and then I think TikTok is Zach Music. So. Perfect. Yeah, just either of those. And like I said, I check my messages, so say hey.
That. I check my messages. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I'm gonna steal that. I love it. I'll give you credit though. Every time I say it, I'll give you credit.
Yeah. You'll think about me, and you'll think about that guy hopping in my car.
Yeah, and then I'll wonder what happened to your jar of change. We'll never know.
He probably spent it. Well, hopefully, maybe. Who knows?
I love that. Cool, man. Thank you so much. This was really awesome.
Anytime.
And it was great to chat with you and great to meet you. And yeah, next time you're in LA, absolutely hit me up, because even if you just are playing a gig, like I'll absolutely be there and come check it out. But yeah, man, thank you so much. This was really great. I'll let you get back to work, but I'll look forward to us chatting more. And then hit me up when you're in LA next.
Okay, and let me know when you put this out if I can help promote it in any way.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, bud. Talk to you later.
Bye. Okay.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Thank you, Zach, for both of those incredible stories. If you want to follow Zach, head over to Instagram at Zach, or on TikTok at Zach Music. He's really great about posting clips, covers, clips of his original songs. Be sure to check him out. You can also head over to Zach.com to follow up on dates, new releases, etc. As he mentions, he's in Toronto working on a new album now, so be sure to keep your ear to the ground for when that album comes out. I promise you it will be incredible. If you want some extra time with Zach, head over to patreon.com/tellmeyours. You'll get a little bit of extra time with me and Zach chatting. He was so great to get to know. I was super excited to chat with him. If you want to follow us, Twitter and Instagram, we are at TellMeYoursPod. And as always, until next week, be kind to each other, and we'll talk soon.